The first verse of the Hebrew Bible has 7 words. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Only 5 of these words are translated into English, though. The word et, which appears twice, is not rendered in English translations. Let's learn why. Hello, my name is Matthew, and this is Learn the Lingo. Welcome to the 9th episode of Reading the Hebrew Bible. Today, we're going to learn the Hebrew word et, what it means, how it's used in the Bible, and why in many places it's not translated into English. To understand what et is doing in this Hebrew verse, let's break down what every word in the sentence is doing. Bereshit is the word usually translated as in the beginning. Next is the verb bara, which means created. It's very common for Hebrew to put the verb before the subject, which in this verse is Elohim, God. Bara Elohim, God created. Then we have et hashamayim, the heavens, and et haaretz, the earth. Et is attached to the direct objects of the verb bara, that is, the things that are being created. Not only are hashamayim and haaretz the direct objects of the verb, they are also definite. Not just any heavens and earth, but hashamayim, the heavens, and haaretz, the earth. When these 2 criteria are met, if a word is the direct object of the verb and is definite, it will often be preceded by the preposition et. Why does Hebrew do this? In English, we don't need any marker to make it clear that a certain word is the object of the sentence, because our sentences have a very set order. We have the subject first, the person doing the action, like God, who is doing the creating, then the verb, the action itself, created, and then the object, the thing the action is done to, like the heavens and the earth that were created. Hebrew, as we just saw, doesn't always follow this structure. In bara Elohim et hashamayim ve'et haaretz, both the subject Elohim and the objects hashamayim and haaretz come after the verb bara. To make it clear which words are the direct objects, we can put the preposition et before them. So we know et hashamayim ve'et haaretz are the things being created. Even when the subject and object of the verb are very clear, as they are here, et is still often used before the definite direct object of the verb. Because with et, we can clarify which word is the object of the verb, that object can be put in any place in the sentence without the meaning becoming unclear. David was told what would happen to the man who killed Goliath. Et bito itenlo. Bito is from bat, daughter. It has an o suffix that means his. Bito, his daughter. Suffixes like o make the word they attach to definite. So, bito is definite. So, when it is also the direct object of a verb, it will take et, which it does here. That shows us that the object of the verb yiten, he shall give, is bito. He, that is, King Saul, shall give his daughter lo, to him, to the man who kills Goliath. Et bito yiten lo. His daughter he shall give to him. The object of the verb is placed at the beginning of the sentence, but it won't be confused because it has the definite direct object marker et. It's very clear that his daughter is who will be given by the king. Biblical Hebrew often uses this sentence order to place more emphasis on the object of the sentence. Here, for example, his daughter is shown to be the most important part of the phrase. So that's what et often means. When it has this use, we don't translate it into English because it has a use that is not necessary in English. However, there are places where et is translated into English, because et has 2 uses. It can mark this definite direct object, but it can also mean with. Genesis 15:18, karat Adonai et Avram brit. The expression karat brit has a verb, karat, which means cut, and a noun, brit, covenant. Karat brit, cut a covenant, is usually translated as make a covenant. I'll link a video here and in the description if you're interested in the meaning of this expression. Adonai, the Lord, is the subject of the verb karat. As is common in Hebrew, it comes after the verb. Then we have et Avram, Abram. In this sentence, the direct object of the verb karat is brit, not Avram. So et is not the definite direct object marker, but the preposition with. The Lord made a covenant with Abram. Karat Adonai et Avram brit. Another Hebrew word that means with is im. David tells Saul that he will go and fight im haplishti hazeh, with im, this Philistine. Both et and im, meaning with, are very common in the Bible. Let's learn a couple more very common prepositions used in the Hebrew Bible. El, not to be confused with El, which means God, is a preposition that means to. Le, which we've seen before, can have a similar use. But El mainly has this one use of to, while le has a wide variety of uses. Here's an example from our chapter. Vayikra el ma'archot Yisrael. Vayikra is the verb, which means, and he called. He is Goliath here. Vayikra el, and he called to, ma'archot Yisrael, the battle lines, the armies, the ma'archot of Israel. Saul tells David, you cannot go el haplishti hazeh, to this Philistine. El is usually a rather straightforward word, as you can see. A more complicated preposition is al, which usually means on or upon, but can also mean by. In our chapter, we're told, v'chova nechoshet al rosho, and a chova, a helmet of nechoshet, bronze, al rosho, on his rosh, his head. V'chova nechoshet al rosho, and a helmet of bronze was on his head. U mitzchat nechoshet al raglav, and a bronze mitzcha, usually translated as greaves, were on al raglav, his legs. U mitzchat nechoshet al raglav, and greaves of bronze were on his legs. That's al meaning on. In Psalm 23, it is used to mean by. Al me menuchot yanahaleni. By water and calm places, he leads me. Back in our chapter, David leaves his kelim, his baggage, al yad shomer hakelim. Shomer hakelim is the keeper of the baggage. David leaves his kelim, al yad shomer hakelim. Al yad literally means on the hand of. Al yad, and also yad, can be used to mean something is in the power, responsibility, or possession of someone. Leaving kelim, al yad shomer hakelim, is handing them over to him, giving him power over them so he can take care of them. One last thing I'll introduce you to today is compound prepositions. These are made by taking a preposition and either another preposition or a noun and putting them together to make a new preposition. We can take me, which usually means from, and put it before al, upon, to make me'al, from upon, or off. You might see this combination with the phrase me'al panei ha'adama, from upon or off the face of the ground, adama. This expression is used to refer to driving or destroying something off the face of the earth. David tries on the armor Saul gives him, but he takes it me'alav, from upon him, off him. The av ending on me'al means him. Taking another look at when he gave his kelim, al yad shomer hakelim, this verse also says he left the kelim me'alav, from upon himself. So al can be used to put things or responsibility on someone, but me'al can take it off. Like all Hebrew prepositions, al and me'al have a wide variety of uses, and they can't be translated a single way into English. These are some of their most important uses, but we'll see more later on. In this lesson, we've learned et, which can be the definite direct object marker, or, like im, mean with. We also now know el, to, al, on or by, and me'al, from upon, which can mean off in many cases. We've also seen certain expressions that have two nouns together, like chova nachoshet, a helmet of bronze, and shomer hakelim, the keeper of the baggage. Next time, we're going to learn how these expressions are formed and used in the Bible.